Welcome back, Stassis23 here, back again with some knife therapy, and today I have the Kizer Vanguard Assassin. This was designed by Carlos Elsner. He designed a titanium knife, the Assassin, with them. It had two different blade styles. I owned the clip point one, but I no longer have it anymore. So I saw this one. I didn't even correlate the two, but I thought it looked interesting. And the price tag, if I didn't just say it, is $69. Comes in green linen micarta, stonewash blade, or you can get it in red micarta with a stonewash blade. Get some quick specs out of the way. You have an overall length of 7.25 inches, so it's in that medium size range. You have a blade length of 2.95 inches, so it's going to be legal in a lot of areas with 3 and under blade laws. You have a grip area from here to the back of 3.4 inches and a blade stock thickness of 0.12 inches. The behind the edge thickness on my particular knife is around 18 thousandths behind the edge. So let's take a close look at this. You have, once again, another button lock from Kizer. And in my opinion, after using it, testing it, and getting a good feel for it, this will be a great work knife. Definitely a great EDC carry. It's a good size, good weight. I think it looks attractive, and it performs well in pretty much all cutting tasks. Great blade shape. You don't have, your belly's not too abrupt. You got a good bit of flat right here. High flat grind. Nice swedge up here at the top. But you still have a pretty stout tip up there for, if you need to get a splinter out or dig something out or to penetrate a bag of chips. Very nice, attractive stonewash finish. Kizer does a pretty darn good job. And another thing they do a good job on is their 154 cm steel. Probably one of my favorite, it's definitely my favorite of their budget end steels. They do an excellent job with it. I've never had an issue. I've always had it perform really well, sharpens up very easily, and that was the case with this one as well. You can see you have a long row of jimping right there, and that allows you to get a thumb on there, pretty much wherever. If you're choked back, choked up, part of your thumb will be on that that jimping. It's nice fine cut jimping, so it grabs a hold to that thumb if you need it, but if you don't, it's not going to tear you up either. You do have somewhat of a sharpening notch right here cut out. Does clear that plunge line, and you should have, you can see it goes up a little bit, so you should have a few sharpenings before you actually start to widen up. I have sharpened this one after I did the testing, and as you can see, it did not widen up any. One thing that I noticed whenever I did the unboxing is that, I don't know if you can notice it as much. You can when it's flipped up like this. Had a very slight recurve right here. And I could have spent a little time and corrected it, just brought the bevel down a little bit more. But it's a budget knife. It's a user. I wasn't going to waste all that time. So that'll eventually go away if I correct it. But it's not something I plan on correcting. And I'm not sure if it's something that is on all of them or it was just the way mine was sharpened. If somebody has this, let me know if yours has just a very slight recurve going in the back right there. It just looks like something that wasn't supposed to be there. So there's Carlos's maker's mark right there, the name of the knife and the model number. The action on this knife is outstanding. It's bearing pivot, ceramic bearing pivot, button lock. Release that button and that thing comes falling. It has a good, I guess if you want to call it, detent with that button lock. Nice flipper tab with two little jumps there. Grabs a hold of the thumb nicely. It's not super grippy, but it does enough. I don't ever really slip off of it. Light switch it and this thing comes out with authority. You can push button it as well. They both do about the same, in my opinion. It's more comfortable to do the light switch, to get your finger up on top of that and pull it back. But it definitely has a nice crisp break on the detent and comes out nice and fast. Let's see if I can feel it. Hold on. No, once you break the detent of the button lock, it comes out. There's no stopping it. Let's close it up. You have nice green linen micarta on this one, and they left it with the finish that I love, where you can still feel the fabric. So it's got a nice soft feeling to the touch if you're rubbing on it like that. I shouldn't even say that. But if you need the extra grip, it's really going to grab onto your finger. It looks good. It takes on its own character with, sweating on it and your hand oils. It can get darker. Now, I will say linen micarta won't show that darkness like canvas will, just because of the nature of the material. You do have a recess on that button. It's not, it's not a deep recess or anything. Let's see how far you got to press this before. And yep, you got to go right underneath that recess area before it releases from the blade. You have basically a shadow boxed scale up here. You can see your liners are sticking out over here. They have been it looks like they're pretty much polished. Yeah, they're polished. I can see mirror polish. I can see my reflection in them. And they also mirror polished the back spacer. You got a huge lanyard hole right there integrated into the back spacer with a little geared pattern there. And skull knocker right here, this little point. If you need to bust up something, I guess you could with that stainless steel backspacer right there. You'd mess up that pretty backspacer though. The way they did the materials, I think it looks nice. The edges on the stainless liners are softened. They're rounded over, so nothing sharp where it doesn't need to be. You have Torx T8 on the pivot, T6 on the body screws. Your pocket clip is tip up, left or right hand carry. And being that it's a button lock, it's completely ambidextrous. You can easily deploy left-handed and depress that button, no problem. And then you can swap that clip around if you are a lefty. Speaking of the clip, let's check it out in the pocket. It goes in the pocket fairly well. You got a nice little ramp up here that clears the material. Your screws have been countersunk. The clip itself hasn't been countersunk into the scales, but there you go. The only thing you really see is that nub on the back right there disappears in the pocket. Now the clip is shiny, so it will definitely shine. People will notice you have something in your pocket. And the nature of the linen, it wants to just kind of grab onto the, other materials that it's rubbing against. Wasn't a problem. I can still get it in and out without an issue. All the cutting I did, I didn't have any, glaring issues. The handle is fairly neutral. You do have this oversized trawl right there, but you should be able to fit pretty much anybody's hand in there. I have a medium-sized hand, and I have a little bit left of the handle sticking out. So large hands, you should be able to use this fairly easily with 4 fingers. I thought it was fairly comfortable in hand. You have, that added thickness into the scales right there. This right here, you're really locked in. Especially, your light duty task, this is going to be great. It's going to excel in that. Fidget factor for days if you like to do that. Drive your wife crazy. Boop, 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 boop. The centering is absolutely perfect, as you see there. The knife is fairly, I wouldn't say light, but it's heavily skeletonized, and they did a decent job of keeping the weight down. However, you do have, a stainless steel backspacer that is going to add some weight. So let's check out the weight real quick. All right, first in grams, 95.5 grams and 3.36 ounces. That's definitely great for me. That's easy for me to carry. The lockup on the knife is nice and solid. No up and down play whatsoever. No side to side whatsoever. And as far as the button, you do get a little bit of stick, but in my opinion, it's the type of stick I like. It assures me that the knife locked up, and it's not something that, I feel like I got to overcome. It's just, you push that down and it releases the blade. It's not no popping stickiness to it or anything, but I know some people can't stand any whatsoever. It's a button lock. It's prone to happen. Quick size comparison: Ontario Rat 1, Ontario Rat 2. Rat 2 is almost identical. Kizer Swayback and Kizer Original. Civivi Altus and Concept Fossa. Both great size comparisons. All right, nitpicks and complaints. Like I said, even if the recurve was supposed to be there, I definitely, there's no, you're not gaining anything for, if it, is supposed to be there. It's so subtle that it doesn't really make sense. So hopefully it's, I just got one that, got sharpened incorrectly or something. Other than that, I'm not a huge fan of the polished backspacer and scales. I don't know, for some reason it just feels cheap, even though I would think, that it takes a little bit more time. And the pocket clip is pretty far down because of this big old space for this backspacer. Depending on where your hands fall, it could sit into your palm. Mine, however, fits nicely in my hand. So, if you have a similar hand size as me, or I've said a knife was comfortable or uncomfortable and you agreed, then, that's about all I can give you there. So overall value on the knife, I think it's a great value. 69 bucks. Like I said, they do such a good job with the 154 CM. It's comfortable in hand. I think it looks nice. Love the micarta. The action is outstanding. I mean, a super fidgety knife. If you're one to do this all day, I mean, come on. Completely ambidextrous. I think it's a win. I probably prefer this one over any other button locks that Kizer has done this year, or any other button locks Kizer has done, period. This is probably my favorite of theirs so far. It was, neck and neck with the Kizer Original, and even though I like thumb stud deployers more, I don't know, there's something about the Assassin. I think it was, once I started using it and testing it, this one just took a slight leg up on it. I don't know. So, love to hear your thoughts. If you own the Assassin, let me know what your thoughts are, and if you have that little small recurve in it. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. I hope everybody's having an absolute amazing day, and I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.